Hey everyone. So I had another interesting experience a little while back, not too long ago actually. And you guys ever seen that movie Stigmata? Came out like 10 or 20 years ago. And anyway, Stigmata is it's like when you experience sensations that Jesus experienced on the cross, right? And also, let me preface this by saying that I grew up completely atheist. Like, I despised the church. I didn't despise it, but I was not drawn to it. I just thought it was annoying. I didn't really care for the ideas, that were coming out. And I don't know, maybe I probably threw the baby out with the bathwater. I was a young, silly kid, very logical, very science minded. I was like, this is all nonsense, and so are the people. Like, bye. Anyway, but as I got older, I started experiencing Jesus, the presence of Jesus. I felt him very strongly once when I was at work 10 or 12 years ago. And then I feel like I've gotten like sensations or like even heard him like say things to me, but he's been so subtle. It's like, I think it's also your belief too. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't want to infringe on your belief. Like, if you want to believe in love and unconditional love and goodness, that's your job to do. You know what I mean? Like, you have to train your mind and your beliefs, because God and Jesus are gentlemen and they're not going to force themselves on you. So anyway, stigmata. So anyway, as I got older, started kind of experiencing weird stuff. Jesus, made me obviously curious, made me more than a believer. It made me a knower. I'm like, whoa, I felt Jesus. I mean, I knew exactly who he was, what he was. He felt good. He felt divine, like a God, very powerful. I mean, he was very mild, very subtle. It wasn't like a booming voice. I didn't even see anything visually. I just felt him like very strongly on like my skin. He felt like a loving sunlight. And then after that, I was inspired to learn how many nerve endings we have in our body, and it's 7 trillion each of us. And I was like, whoa, that's wild. Like 7 trillion, that's so complex, and they're just like formed perfectly, to work perfectly. And they only pick up on sensation if it's appropriate, if there is a sensation, and something, whatever, touching you. So anyway, stigmata. So I start thinking more and more about Jesus, because I think that's what he wants from us. When we're young, we think, oh, we're just little me, we're little whatever, nobodies, little kids, we don't mean anything. Even love from like the littlest kid is meaningful. I mean, I'm sure any mom or parent will agree, or grandparent. Yeah, it's very powerful. No matter how small, the smaller you are, the more the more powerful your love is. Probably the meeker you are, right? Okay, so trying to get to the story here. Stigmata. So I'm thinking about Jesus more and more, because I think that's what he wants from us. He just wants love, and what is love? That it starts by, I think, thinking about a person, right? Like, actively. When you're in love, I think it just happens inactively. It just, happens without trying. But anyway, so I'm thinking about Jesus more and more, and I'm driving down the road, and I got an impression of stigmata, an impression of like the height of Jesus on the cross, like the height of the pain. And it was a gentle version. It wasn't the full, effect. Thank God. I don't think I, probably would have been bad to give me that while I was driving. But he gave me a very gentle version of what he felt at the height of the cross. And it was absolutely horrible. It was every nerve on fire, in utter agony. And it was just for like a split second. But oh my God, guys, yeah, it was horrible. He really did that. He really did all that stuff, and he did it for us too. But he wasn't a victim. Also, like the church, like makes him out to be this like weak loser, that like that, and the focus is always like on what appeared to be his defeat. Where he's just like he's writhing, on the cross, just dying, dehydrating, bleeding to death. but it was actually a great victory, of course. So anyway, yeah, guys, it's wild. As you age, things are going to happen to you too. Your brain's going to mature. You're going to start sensing the divine. You know, when you're young, this is like in every creature, it seems like, or at least like mammal creatures, especially, like you're very like blind. Sometimes you're actually completely blind. Like bats are born blind, right? And they stay blind. But you know, I think some animals they're born blind, right? And I think that, like, yeah, our senses are not they're like weak, and they're like embryonic, you know, and as you grow they get, you know, they get bigger and stronger, you know, like a tree. We're like trees inside. Right? Okay, anyway, yeah, guys, I had to share the stuff about the stigmata because it was wild. I was definitely never expecting that. I mean, things are changing around here. Something big and wild is happening. So, okay, guys, I love you. Peace.